thank you, Wendy, for that gracious introduction, and thanks to IT, PMI, and CAI for another opportunity to present. This is my third presentation with IT, PMI, and CAI. A couple of years ago, Dr. Ginger Lovin gave me the opportunity to write a book in her series. This resulted in publishing of IT Project Management, A Geek's Guide to Leadership, which you see there on the screen. I met Dr. Lovin while I was pursuing the PgMP certification. At the time I put together this presentation, there were less than 2,200 PgMP certificate holders worldwide. I found it to be a great cert because it verifies your program management expertise and because it makes you more competitive in the workplace and in the marketplace. And I highly encourage anyone with a PgMP or looking to solidify their expertise within program management to pursue the certification. I think we need a lot more than 2,200 people with the certification. One day I was Googling myself to see how the publisher was promoting my book, and I decided to see what happens if I simply Googled the keywords PgMP and CISSP. I was shocked to see that my LinkedIn profile was the first return. I've been steering my career towards the intersection of program project management and cybersecurity, and this presentation is part of that process. This presentation, it takes place at that intersection. I'm a lifelong student of program project management and leadership and cyber, and I believe that all program and project leaders, not just managers, but leaders, should understand the basics of cybersecurity so that they can infuse cybersecurity disciplines and concepts into their programs and projects and make their organizations more cyber resilient. And you'll see why that's important later in this presentation. What you'll see today is part of research I'm conducting for an upcoming book on cybersecurity program leadership. And I'm a real big proponent of LinkedIn. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, and I will let you know when that publication is available. So in way of introduction, I'd like to start our discussion by examining a term called VUCA. It's an acronym for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I like to look at it in relation to cybersecurity. Then I'll provide an introduction to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, also known as NIST. The NIST Cybersecurity Framework. This framework is a methodology, and from my viewpoint, it's a methodology in addressing cyber VUCA, doing it in a manner that protects our personal information, our intellectual property, and our critical infrastructure. Next, I'll discuss how the Project Management Institute's standard for program management can be used to implement this NIST cybersecurity framework. Successful cybersecurity programs are not possible without leadership. It's really about getting smart people together to work together to address these difficult cybersecurity challenges. I'll conclude with a discussion of the transformational leadership model and the servant leadership model in relation to cybersecurity programs. Then I'll close out by addressing, to the best of my ability, any questions that you might have about what I'm presenting today. Over the next few minutes, I'll provide an overview of everything that we're going to talk about today, more on the definition of VUCA and cyber, combating VUCA, more specifically combating cyber VUCA using the cybersecurity framework and the standard for program management, and as well as the importance of leadership, as I discussed a little bit earlier. In the 1990s, social scientists at the Army War College were challenged to prepare military leaders to address worldwide chaos, all of the unpredictable activities that was taking place at the time and continues to take place. They coined the phrase VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, and you can read some descriptions of those concepts on the slide. VUCA succinctly describes this chaotic environment, and it enables a discussion and analysis that equip the students to lead their people and organizations once they graduated, help them lead through turbulent times. But let's take another look using a different perspective about VUCA. Many of us are familiar with the advertising character known as Mayhem. Mayhem is portrayed by an actor, Dean Winters, and he's the pitch man for a major U.S. insurance company that I'm not going to name because they're not endorsing this presentation. Mayhem personifies unpredictable, unfortunate, catastrophic events that occur in life, events like lightning strikes that set your home on fire and car accidents. In a sense, Mayhem personifies VUCA. The insurance company vows that they can better protect us from this mayhem. Well, let's use our imaginations for a moment. I'm just going to take a few minutes here to set the scene. Let's use our imaginations for a moment and pretend that Mayhem has a tech-savvy younger brother named Mischief. Now, Mayhem is ancient. He emerged with the dawn of humanity. Yet his much younger brother, Mischief, emerged with the dawn of the computer age. Mischief really looks up to his big brother. He sees him as a role model. Yet Mischief wants to make his own mark on the world, so he chooses to become a hacker. So he starts off with malware like the Creeper system back in the 70s, and another virus was released in the 80s called the Brain Boot Sector virus. As personal computers proliferated, so did his influence. He attracted a band of miscreants who produced malware like the Michelangelo virus in the 90s and I Love You and My Doom in the 2000s, all under the mentorship of Mischief. As he got older, he learned how to create advanced persistent threats and hide inside networks until they were activated. That's what APTs do. He developed phishing attack methodologies and methods for exploiting social media to gain access to protected systems. He even picked up psychological skills and learned how to influence insiders to steal for him and his miscreants. He invented ransomware and sold the technology that miscreants use to hold businesses and government data hostage until they pay the price. His exploits gained him fame, earning him the attention of nation-states such as China, Russia, North Korea, who use his tactics to gain economic advantage, to influence elections, and to disrupt commerce. We've watched Mischief grow up and become more sophisticated. The public goes about their normal lives unaware that cyber warfare is raging between nations in the virtual world. Our leaders are concerned that he will team up with his brother Mayhem to cause catastrophic damage in the physical world, attacking our critical infrastructure like dams and chemical plants and the power grid, the financial system, the healthcare system. Such damage could lead to significant economic loss, but most critically, the loss of innocent lives.